This is reposted.
Today's guest needs no introduction. He is our most loyal of listeners. He is the one and only Brandon Doble, sole proprietor of the podcast, How I Got This Way. Show number 7 is a doozy in that series, by the way. And also, Tell Me Something Interesting. We have Brandon on today to chat a little bit about the Enneagram and this quote we found at hashtag Enneagram. Today, develop confidence in your ability to know your own mind and to think for yourself. This will bring balance and thus deepen your ability to fulfill your responsibilities with heart and courage. Hello, Brandon. Why are you our most loyal listener?
Well, first off, I love that you got both my podcast names wrong. That's awesome.
Okay.
So no one will find me. I feel like what I should do is big time this call, but I am your most loyal listener. One, I started listening out of avarice and anger that you two had discovered this thing. And then I shameless. I just like it. I think it's good. I think you guys do a good job. I actually find it interesting. And I told both of you, you need to go longer. I'm not happy with the 5-minute length. I just when I start getting excited, little swelling going on, you guys turn off. And Andrew's like, see you later. Yeah. I don't like that. I want it longer.
Maybe as an Enneagram number 8, you want to challenge us to do better.
That is true. I am an 8. I wanted to deny that for years upon years. But, and you're not supposed to tell anybody what Enneagram you are, but Larry continues to tell me I'm an 8. I am an 8. I am a wing 3 with an 8, which is a really bad combination.
You're a giant.
I want to say something. I think it's interesting. You said you wanted to deny being an 8. I think it's interesting because you take the test and you become a number and you're like, I'm not that and I'm not that. I've taken it different times and gotten different numbers. Larry's wife thinks I'm a 6. I look at that. I don't think I'm a 6. And I have this guttural reaction when someone tries to put you into a pigeonhole. I think everyone probably feels that way. And I hadn't heard you're not supposed to tell people your number, but I'm not going to do that moving forward.
Hey, Brandon, real quickly, why don't you just give us like a 30-second what the Enneagram is for someone?
Well, I mean, Enneagram's weird because no one really knows where it came from. It's some people say it's thousands of years old, and it's just a personality trait. It's like Myers-Briggs on like East German steroids. It's massively powerful. And what you just said, Andrew, is very true. Like the reason why you don't tell people is because the Enneagram is meant to help you understand who you are as a person, not to give other people, fodder to say, oh, you're a classic 6, right? Like Larry, he's a classic 7, so he doesn't want to confront anybody. That may be true. You may know their number, but you're not supposed to say it. It's to help you figure out who you are as a person.
Yeah, and I guess back to the quote, to free your own mind, to be able to focus on other things and understand why you have reactions to certain things. Like I know that I'm going to get stressed out when people are late, and that's just understanding who I am. And, okay, I feel this way because I am that way versus just leaning in or not letting the anger or angst overcome you. So, like, help you understand yourself better to be able to make you have a more full life.
Yeah, right? No, I think that's very true. I think that one of the things that people forget is that there's positives and negatives on each side of the scale. So like you look at we tend to look at our negatives. We're like, oh man, I'm really stressed out when people are late. But we don't look at the positives. Like Larry's a 7, which is sort of, he seeks adventure and he seeks like new events, which is awesome. Unless on the flip side of that, you're constantly seeking events and adventure and you don't let other people be involved. But that's really the whole point of it, is to figure out what you are. I'm an 8, which is, they call it the boss, or
the challenger.
The challenger, right? I hate people that won't challenge me. I hate when people don't tell me the truth. But that doesn't work. If I expect that out of everybody, I'm gonna be unhappy, and I often am. So, being aware of what your personality type is, that's why the Enneagram is so great. By the way, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of books written on the Enneagram. You could take seminars, you could do all these things. There are Christian books and Buddhist books and all sorts of things. So the Enneagram is not, a lot of people think, oh, it's some crazy religious thing. It's not. It's a personality development thing.
Well, here's the thing about any of those, Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, if you're trying to figure out who you are, that's a good thing. And if it directs you to that and you're trying to figure out your strengths and weaknesses to know yourself better, all of that is good, and it doesn't matter the format.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I guess just asking the question is a step further than most people are ever going to do. Most people aren't going to say, how am I going to figure myself out? So like if you're tuning into Reposted Podcast right now, you're inherently a better person because you've tuned in to learn more.
Absolutely.
Right. I have a question for you, Larry. Have you ever caught yourself in the moment being like, I'm a 7, I'm being scattered right now, and you're like, I need to focus? Or do you just live your life by the seat of your pants like we think you do?
No. I am well aware that I am lost and have no idea what's on the family calendar this weekend, and that I constantly need direction back to where we're going.
Yeah.
And your wife is what numbers, Larry? What number is Karen?
Oh no!
Oh, the 1 and the 7 are like violent opposites. There are what 3 different trees that you can be on, and there are some that work with each other better than others. I mean, there's a whole thing behind it. But 1 and 7, woo, that makes for a little hottie.
Well, and which is definitely, I mean, there's definitely been some intensity in our marriage, but the intensity has definitely given me a fuller range of the human experience as opposed to getting with someone whose personality I'm very similar with.
And another plug for Enneagram is maybe if you guys didn't understand why you were that way, you would maybe break up or it would be more difficult. I think like understanding why you have your dynamic is important.
So yeah, that's a good point.
Enneagram.
I think a lot of people go to therapy because they can't figure out why they don't get along.
Yeah.
And if they just kind of understood themselves, like Larry and I were talking about this the other night, like I hate everybody. And I realized the reason I hate everybody is because I hate myself sometimes, right? So it's easy to hate everybody if you hate yourself.
Yeah.
If you love yourself, then you're probably going to be more likely to love other people. I just think that's all part of the puzzle.
So here's an existential question. If all of these people you hate came to a city you were living in and were there and didn't call you, would you be angry with them, but you hated them?
I think that's for a different podcast called Poke the Bear.
Yeah, I think that is a different podcast. Absolutely.
All right, guys, this is the worst part of the show. If you have a post you'd like us to further explore, please reach out. You can find us at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Thank you so much, Brandon, for joining us. I'm Andrew Keller for Brandon and Larry Olson saying thanks for stopping by.